Look at this shit. I told you that ain't camera. No. That's why they stopped more in the past. That's why they stopped more. Baby girl, you gotta get up. Come on. Get your ass up out of there. Come on, man. Come on. What the fuck wrong with you, bitch? Stop.
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. Show the blessing to be back in the black box to blow a succession. It's real crazy, man. On November 18th, I get a text on the GTL on the jail app from my cousin, right? And it say, "Do you know a rapper by the name of Dom Kennedy?" I said, "I know of him, heard of him." He say, "That's Dillinger's cousin. He was trying to get in touch with him." He said, "See if you can try to connect them." I don't have no idea, but I did my little part. I jumped in Dom Kennedy DM and said, "Yo." Of course, I've gotten no response. But then, with no other thoughts of him, thinking of him, I run across this title. The video wasn't that long. And I'm like, man, I know he was on, but they say, all of a sudden, you got a million different cousins. Dillinger happens to be Charles Carpenter, who we do the Anatomy of an Urban Soldier here each Tuesday on the Black Box Locked Up series. It's a 15-minute segment where he calls in for prison. He's currently serving a life sentence. And he has a message of positivity that he fuses with poetry and just conversation that he shares right here on the Black Box. And I was connected with him through my cousin who was incarcerated with him currently. So that was my cousin asking me to reach out to Dom Kennedy on Charles's behalf. I guess Charles mentioned it to him. And when Charles gets on the phone with me, we have 15 dedicated minutes to take care of our business, and we don't do much or any small talk whatsoever. So I will now further my effort to let Dom Kennedy know that he got a cousin named Dillinger, Charles Carpenter, who is incarcerated, been a couple of decades, going on 3 decades now, and he's trying to tap in and reach out. But with no further ado, let's see what this silent, independent millionaire has been up to.
When people talk about independent success in hip-hop, certain names always come up. Larry June, Currency, Young Dolph, Tech-9. But there's one name that rarely gets enough credit. A man who helped define the West Coast's modern sound while quietly building an empire behind the scenes. That name is Dom Kennedy. He doesn't chase clout. He doesn't flex cars or chains. He rarely even talks about money. But if you look closely, you'll see one of the smartest independent rappers in the game. Someone who turned a neighborhood sound into a sustainable brand and a loyal fan base into a $1 million business. Dom Kennedy is what happens when you treat rap not like a lottery ticket, but like a long-term investment. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly how he did it.
No wonder him and Nip connected. Similar mind frames.
From mixtape legend to independent mogul, and how he became what I like to call the silent millionaire of LA. Dom Kennedy's story starts in Leimert Park, South Central Los Angeles, a place that's always been
okay, AI, that's Leimert Park.
Rich with culture. It's where jazz, poetry, and hip-hop all mix together. The same place that gave rise to Freestyle Fellowship, Medusa, and later people like Nipsey Hussle and TDE. Growing up, Dom wasn't some industry plant or label prodigy. He was just a kid with a ear for music and an understanding of people. He once said in an interview with The Fader, "I didn't grow up around a lot of rappers. I grew up around people who were hustling, selling clothes, running businesses. That made me think about independence early." Dom finally dropped his first mixtape, 25th Hour, in 2008, but it was from the West Side with Love in 2010 that really put him on the map. It sounded different, smoother, more conversational. The beats weren't chasing radio. The lyrics weren't about being flashy. They were about life, about trying to make it while keeping your soul intact. That honesty gave him a following. Fans from Los Angeles, the Bay, Chicago, and even overseas gravitated to his calm delivery and consistent message. By 2011, Dom Kennedy was performing to packed shows, all independently. He had no label deal, no major radio singles, and no marketing budget. What he did have was word of mouth, loyal fans, and merch that sold out at every show. The turning point came when Dom founded OPM, Other People's Money, in 2011. OPM wasn't just a label, it was a brand, a lifestyle, and eventually a business network. He launched OPM.
And it's a common phrase in the investment world. You don't invest with your money. You invest with OPM, other people's money. It's not just a troll. It's a real technical term in the business world.
With childhood friends, using the structure of a small business rather than a traditional label. They handled their own merchandise, licensing, and touring deals. Every album, the Yellow Album in 2012, Get Home Safely in 2013, By Dom Kennedy in 2015, came out through OPM. And he never signed away ownership. In a 2016 interview with Complex, Dom explained that OPM was built on two rules: creative control and community ownership. He said, "I didn't want to sign to anyone because I saw what happens when you give up your power. I wanted to keep it all in-house even if it took longer." That independence meant slower mainstream growth, but higher profit margins. By handling his own distribution, often through Empire, Dom was able to keep a much larger percentage
Vertical integration
of streaming and sales revenue than label artists. If a major label rapper takes home 15 to 20% of their music income, Dom was keeping 80 to 90%. Between 2012 and 2017, OPM sold tens of thousands of physical units and hundreds of thousands digitally. The Yellow Album became a cult classic, downloaded over 200,000 times in its first few weeks on DatPiff, and later streamed millions of times across platforms. By staying independent, Dom turned his small label into a consistent revenue stream, one that supported his tours, merch, and growing team. If you ever been to a Dom Kennedy show, you know one thing: his fans don't just listen, they buy. OPM's merch has always been a major part of the business. From limited t-shirts to the now iconic OPM logo hoodies, Dom created clothing that represents more than a fan club. It's a lifestyle symbol of West Coast independence. At a time when major artists were just beginning to realize how profitable merch could be, Dom had already built a full supply chain for his brand. He once said on the Business of Hip Hop podcast, "The merch kept everything moving. When streaming wasn't paying, the clothes were." For an artist at his level, even conservative estimates show $10,000 to $20,000 per show in merch sales, more than what many major label artists take home after label cuts. Multiply that by dozens of tour dates each year, and it's clear Dom Kennedy's brand wasn't built on hype, it was built on conversion. Fans who wear OPM gear aren't just showing love, they are investing in the brand. That level of loyalty is why, 15 years into his career, Dom can still announce a new project and instantly sell out shows in LA, Oakland, and Chicago, without radio play, playlisting, or press cycles. He built a small economy around authenticity, and that's something no label can buy. One of the least talked about parts of Dom Kennedy's wealth is his investing strategy. According to local business profiles and interviews from 2018 to 2022, Dom has invested in real estate across Los Angeles, focusing on residential properties in emerging neighborhoods. He reportedly started buying homes in his late 20s, renting some and flipping others. This is a pattern we've seen from other independent rappers. Currency in New Orleans, Larry June in San Francisco, artists who learned that wealth comes from assets, not just streams. An associate told Voyage LA magazine that Dom treats real estate like music. He's patient and he only buys what feels right. While Dom keeps his finances private, multiple outlets estimate his net worth between $5 and $7 million, mostly self-made through music, merch, and real estate. That makes sense. Even modest estimates, that's 80 to 90% of royalties, retained, strong touring income, plus a few smart property flips, put Dom comfortably into multi-millionaire territory. He's proof that quiet money moves are often the most sustainable ones. In an era where most artists live and die by their chart position, Dom Kennedy never cared about Billboard, and that's exactly why he's still here. While others chased viral moments, Dom focused on building value. He dropped albums like Los Angeles Is Not For Sale and Rap and Roll on his own schedule, without pressure to chase trends. Those projects didn't dominate the charts, but they kept fans invested. And that's why Dom can tour every year, because he built a base, not a moment. According to touring data and interviews with promoters, Dom averages $25,000 to $40,000 per show, often in 1,000 to 2,000 capacity venues, with minimal overhead and no label cuts. That's serious profit. More importantly, he owns his masters. So when someone streams When I Come Around or After School, that revenue goes directly to him and his company. Most rappers sign away their masters early for short-term exposure. Dom flipped that model completely. He chose longevity over hype. And today that decision is why he's still financially free, while many of his peers struggle. Ask anyone from Los Angeles, Dom Kennedy isn't just a rapper, he's the sound of the city. His music captures the warm, laid-back feel that defines LA life. Palm trees, lowriders, and ambition wrapped in calm confidence. He also played a major role in shaping the next generation of West Coast artists. People like Nipsey Hussle, Casey Veggies, and even Larry June have cited Dom's independence model as inspiration. When Larry June first started releasing his own music after leaving a label deal, he specifically credited Dom Kennedy for showing him that independence could work. Dom helped prove that you could stay local, stay independent, and still make national money. Even though he rarely makes headlines, his cultural impact is massive. In 2024, several of his classic songs, My Type of Party, Still Callin', and When I Come Around, saw a resurgence on TikTok and streaming playlists, bringing a new generation of fans into the fold. That's the beauty of ownership. Dom doesn't have to fight for his catalog or re-record his masters. He already owns them. Every resurgence, every sync placement, every vinyl sale adds to his long-term income. He built a business that pays him even when he's not dropping music, and that's real financial freedom. So what can other artists learn from Dom Kennedy? First, that patience pays. Dom didn't explode overnight. He built brick by brick, slow, steady, and consistent. Second, that ownership equals freedom. By starting OPM and handling his own distribution, Dom never had to beg a label for budget or permission. He made what he wanted when he wanted. Third, that brand matters more than hype. From his minimalist album covers to his smooth conversational delivery, Dom's entire aesthetic is recognizable. Fans associate his sound with authenticity, and that's a currency money can't buy. Fourth, that wealth comes from diversification. Music made him famous. Merch and touring made him profitable. Real estate made him stable. And finally, that you don't have to be loud to win. Dom Kennedy built his empire quietly. No scandals, no drama, just music, business, and good decisions. He once said in an interview with Billboard, "I don't need to prove anything to anybody. The people who know, that's enough for me." That's not arrogance, that's peace. In hip-hop, we often celebrate the loud stories, the artists who flash money or call out their labels. But the quiet ones are the ones who last. Dom Kennedy shows us that independence doesn't have to be chaos or rebellion. It can be calm, strategic, and sustainable. He built wealth that works for him, not against him. While other rappers fought with labels over royalties, Dom was signing his own checks. While they burned out chasing viral hits, he built a catalog that still pays today. Dom Kennedy is proof that you can make millions in hip-hop without ever selling your soul, your masters, or your brand. He might not be the loudest voice in the room, but when it comes to ownership, he's one of the most successful. And that's why he's the silent millionaire of Los Angeles. Dom Kennedy's story is a blueprint for anyone who wants to make it independent, not just in music, but in business. He proved that with patience, ownership, and consistency, you can build a career that outlasts trends and outgrows the need for validation. From Leimert Park to worldwide tours, from opium to real estate, from mixtapes to...
It's crazy because it's crazy how you can know certain things about a person and not know nothing, because I know nothing about Dom Kennedy before I saw this piece, except that he was talented, of course, from the stuff I hear, dude, hella dope. And I also knew he was successful. Can't point to why, how, where, when, but I knew he was somewhere sitting right off his music. And it's crazy how you can hear so much about right now. We just got a good look into what he does and still didn't learn nothing, man. Salute to him. Salute to independence. Rest in peace to Neighborhood Nip. And yeah, Dom, your cousin, Chris Carpenter, he tried to get in touch. He had Chino. Oh, my.
I'm with my family. Talk to my sons. I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bull crap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all to... I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, neighborhood Nip Hustle. Giving a shout out right now to SPR in the streets. Y'all already know what it is. It's MILLIONAIRE. Oh yeah, and don't forget to check my website out too. NipseyHustle.com, SlawsonBoy.com, MySpace /Nipsey Hussle. And that hustle. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.